I mean, it sucks to lose a game like this, man. You got handled in the second half. The whole season we've been talking about how A&M is the better second half team. A&M makes second half adjustments, and you didn't do it this game. They did it. They were the fresher, better team in the second half. Overall, outside, just looking at this game as a big picture, they played better in the second half than we did, and they dominated us in the second half. You started the game super freaking slow and bad. We talked about going into this game how you couldn't start sloppy. You couldn't have a hangover from the last game. You couldn't be high on your own supply, and you couldn't take anything for granted. And it felt like the first few drives of the game was when we were particularly sloppy, especially tackling. Give up an early touchdown. Went 3 and out. Went for it on a 4th and 1. That is the one questionable coaching decision I'll look at and say, I would like to hear that one explained. I don't get that one. We talked about how you need to give this team full fields to prove that they could drive the full field consistently against you. And they honestly probably could have because they had a really good game. But early in the game, to give them the ball right at the 35, even though you feel good about getting that, going for it at your own 35, that's tough, man. Against a really good front seven. Didn't get it with the quarterback sneak. They go up 14-0. You come back in the game. You have a big Amari Daniels touchdown run. You have a good drive. You force a turnover. You go up 20-17 right before the half. Then right before the half, penalties. Shamar Turner, personal foul, pass interference. Both clear penalties, in my opinion, based on the rules. They are by rule penalties. I know we're going to look at refs for not calling any on them, not calling many calls on them. Whatever. You can have that argument. Those 2 calls on that last drive that got them in field goal range were good calls. 20-20 going to the half. Second half, you just had nothing going, man. You couldn't establish a run, and they ran all over you. I think the first touchdown of that second half was that explosive run by Rocket, where let me look at the play-by-play here, where Rocket just found a gap, and we had 2 guys in the same gap, 3 guys in the same gap. Rocket just busted on through. Rocket looks healthy, man. Rocket looks as good as he's looked in years. Yeah, that was the touchdown at the start the third quarter. We got a first down to start the half. Then we got off the field, punted it off. They had a couple plays, 52-yard run by Rocket Sanders. Bad defensive discipline, just defensive whiff on that one, giving up that touchdown. I mean, you had 3 guys in the same gap. Running back bounces it over, 1 gap, and clear skies to the touchdown. Unfortunate. Bad defense on that one. You turn it over on downs. You go for it on 4th down at your own 31. Pretty early to do that again, in my opinion, but coaches feel like they can get it. You wish you had Moss in that situation. You don't get it on a 4th and 1. They get the ball back. They score a field goal because they have the ball in good field position. They don't even get a first down. They just go 6 yards, kick a field goal. They're up 30-20. Then we trade punts, and then Reed has the interception. That was his worst play of the game, obviously. It's a pick. He got pressured. He had a panic throw, well short of the receiver. Defender comes under it. Yeah. Fortunate doesn't get returned. They have to punt. We get the ball back. 4th and 6, we punt it at our own 26. We're not going for it again. Fumble by them. No, fumble by us. This is when Reed... Hold on, what happens here? I'm trying to look at the play drive. I'm trying to remember everything that happened. Oh, this is when Barber bobbles it but picks it back up. We force a punt. Then we punt on a 4th and 20. They're in desperation time. I would have also liked to go with that. I'm an idiot sitting on the couch. My takeaway, my critique of the coaches, and we'll see what they say about it. I don't know shit. They know more than I do. I didn't like our 4th down decision-making in the game. I felt like we should have been punting on the earlier 4th downs, go for on the last one. That's nitpicky, whatever. Then we give up 2 touchdowns to close the game, and our sloppiness just took over. Their execution dominated us. Their quarterback played a great game. We've seen glimpses of what Lenore Sellers did to us this game throughout the season. He put it all together this game. Their O-line played the best game of the year. Rocket Sanders, like I said, healthy, bowling ball, good player. So now you have your first SEC loss with only 2 SEC games left on the slate. If I would have told you that we were there at this point in the year, you would have taken that. You would have been super happy. This is also the worst we've seen A&M look defensively on the year. Reason to believe they won't look that bad again. Hopefully. You hope they didn't just start some bad habits that are going to become persistent on the team now. That's what you don't want to see, obviously. You don't want to see this be the start of bad habits, man. Tackling, angles, decisions on the gap. Outside contain was abysmal in the game. And they had players to make you pay with it. Their front seven dominated our offensive line. We got out physicaled in the game. They played better late. It sucks. It sucks. Everything to play for on the year, man. You win out, you won't think twice about this game. In fact, maybe you'll pat Shane Beamer on the butt and say, wow, you beat a 10-2 football team in your own stadium. You did it soundly. Good job. We got to make them say that. We got to make them feel good about this win, man. Because you beat Auburn, you beat Texas, you won't give a shit that you lost this game. That's the position you put yourself in by beating LSU and beating Missouri. And this is what happens when you don't bring your A game early in a game and you let them jump on you to start the first and second halves. Elko's going to rip some ass, man. Elko's going to rip some ass. They're going into a bye week. Then they have New Mexico State. Hopefully you get Chase Basantis back. We obviously miss him. And then you have Auburn and Texas to close this thing out, man. Everything on the table. Nothing is taken away besides a chance to run the table in the SEC, besides a chance to have a mulligan going into the Texas and Auburn games. You burnt your mulligan, man. You earned the mulligan by winning every game thus far. Now you're tied with the pack. So we move on. We attack a bye week. We get better. We get healthy. We fix some shit. And we beat the hell out of New Mexico State. All right. Rant done.